Let's get started here. So who am I? My name's Joe Wagner. Like I said, I'm the national recruiter and trainer with EasyPay. I've been in the payment processing industry for about 10 years now. And what we're going to cover today has been out for about 5 months. I'm extremely excited about it. It is an opportunity that is just blowing up the profits in our industry and the savings of our clients. So I've ran multiple offices, everywhere from Philadelphia to Seattle to Dallas to Los Angeles to Miami. I specialize in business to business and phone sales. That's what all my offices were. But there is 1,000 ways to skin a cat, and we're going to go over the different options here. When I was out actively in the field, I acquired my own book of business. I have about 3,700 accounts. Still get some here and there, but that's my base right there. That pays my residual income. And my job now is to recruit and train on a national level. So anyone that comes through the company, I like to work with one-on-one, do everything I can to help them out and make sure everybody has what they need to go out there and be successful. And the title at the beginning was How to Create Financial Freedom in 6 to 9 months while making a good living now. So what I'm going to show you, we're making a great living right up front. My first year in the business, before the opportunity that I'm going to show you, I still made 6 figures. I just went out to work, did the training, and applied myself. And, you know, that's possible for anybody. That's not that difficult to do if you're out there getting results. So before we get into what we're offering, I want to go over the problem that we're solving. Here's a couple stats for you. Most people are somewhat familiar, but the statistics are pretty astronomical. So about 80% of all purchases in the United States are not made by cash. They're made by debit or credit cards. In 2015, $178 trillion was spent in non-cash payments. So that includes credit cards, debit cards, checks, ACH, but a majority of that is going to be credit debit card. So there's no question that there's trillions of dollars being spent every year on debit and credit card. So something I didn't know up to 10 years ago when I got into this industry is that every time we go out and buy something via credit card or debit card, that business owner is actually paying fees to accept those credit cards. So a lot of people aren't familiar with that. So on TV, when we see these great credit cards with all these great airline rewards and Disney trips and American Express, all the perks, well, those companies aren't actually paying for those. It's the business owner. So when we go purchase something that gives us great airline miles, it's actually that business that we just paid that has to take a percentage of their profits to pay for those rewards and fees. So for example, maybe you know of a restaurant down the road, a liquor store, they're running $50,000 in credit cards. They could literally be paying anywhere from $1,250 to $1,750. Obviously, that's going to fluctuate depending on how their fees are set up, at what rates that they're at. So this is a big problem because small businesses, medium-sized businesses are literally the backbone of the United States economy. So when you start taking 2.5 to 3.5% out of their profits, that's money that small business owner can't go create a job with, that they can't reinvest into their business, that they can't market with, or they can't simply, maybe they deserve a vacation and that was the money they needed, but they gave it away to the credit card processing companies in the form of fees. So that's the problem that we're solving. So how do we fix that? Well, we came up with a program 5 months ago that can now literally eliminate the fees for a small business owner and put the profits back into their pockets. And I want to back up. I want to give you a little rundown here how the industry works. For years, for the first 9.5 years that I was in this industry, we would go to a business owner, we would need to see what their fees are, and we would reduce them by a little bit, right? So they've got percentages they're paying. They have a transaction fee every time they run a card. They've got monthly fees, statement fees, batch fees, annual fees. They have fees all over the place. And traditionally, all you could do is go in there, look at what they currently pay and lower it enough for them to want to do business with you, but they still had a big bill. Well, we have a program now that we're talking about eliminating the fees, not lowering them. It's a huge deal. So as we go out and we solve this problem and put the profits back into the business owner's pocket, we get to create a residual income. If you're not familiar with residual income, here's what it is. It's when you get paid over and over and over again for work that you already did. So when we go put these profits back into a business owner's pocket, you do that work one time, but there's a monthly check that you get every month based on helping that customer out from the get-go. My goal, my duty, responsibility, and obligation to everybody on our team is to help others create financial freedom. So as we're putting the profits back into business owners' pockets, I take it very serious to make sure you have everything you need to be successful, because if you're successful, then you're creating yourself financial freedom in the future via residual income. That's a very big deal to me, and I don't take it lightly. So let me introduce you to the cash discount program. The cash discount program, as we've discussed, completely eliminates the traditional fees that the business owner is getting to accept credit cards. Every time you help a business owner out, the commissions paid out are on average $750 to $1,000 per deal. So how many people can you eliminate their bill? $750 to $1,000 on average is the commission for everybody that you can get out there and help. The residual income that we see for reps is on average between $75 and $125. That means you go out and you set up 10 accounts. On the low end, based on our averages, you would be getting a $750 monthly check for those 10 accounts. Now, obviously, that's an average. You have accounts that you can make $500, $600, $700 a month on. You have smaller accounts, you might make $40, $50. But just know that there's a residual income coming to you month after month for every business owner that you can get out there and help. Our pricing is very, very simple. There's only 3 options we're going to get into on another slide, but we charge $25, $50, or $90 flat fee every month, and that's it. Very, very easy, and that's what we're going to get into in a couple slides. Cash discount program is creating financial freedom at a faster rate for our reps than we've seen in the past. The residuals on this program are 5 to 6 times higher than the previous 9.5 years I've been in this industry. So it really sped up the process for the average Joe, for the average anybody to get out there and create financial freedom for themselves. And when I looked at this and was introduced by a good friend 10 years ago, one of the biggest selling points for me was that there's no boundaries on where you can go. So we have people on this call from Texas, I saw Wisconsin, Washington, we always got Florida in there. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're living in Florida and you got an uncle that owns a liquor store in Massachusetts, you can help that person. There's no specific lead list. Any business that accepts credit cards is your territory. So when I got into this, I was bouncing around the United States. I was selling Comcast, and I'd move over here with AT&T. And I literally moved from state to state all over the United States. So when I was introduced to this and you could do it anywhere, that was a big selling point for me. Anyone that accepts credit cards is our target. So here's an example of the cash discount program and the savings. So at the beginning, we talked about a restaurant processing $50,000 a month. Well, let's say their fees are $1,500. In a year, that's $18,000. $18,000 of that business owner's profits went right out the window to a credit card processing company. Think about that. That's already their money. They sold the service, or they sold the product, collected the money. That was their money. They just had to give away $18,000 of it because their customers, 80% of transactions are debit credit card, right? So they're paying $18,000 simply because their customers paid with debit and credit cards. That's a part-time job. That's a lot of marketing. That's new signage. That's a lot of things that business owner could reinvest. So on the cash discount program, the maximum someone could pay is $90, right? So this example, they'd pay $90 and pay close to $1,100 compared to $18,000 over a year to accept credit cards. Ladies and gentlemen, that's almost $17,000 in savings. Again, imagine what a small and medium-sized business could do with that much extra income. They might even want to take a really nice vacation. They probably deserve it, but they could reinvest into their business or do whatever they want with it. That's the amount of savings that we're talking about with the cash discount program. So right here is when I normally start getting questions. How is that possible? You can't eliminate the fees. Well, you've probably seen the cash discount program for years and not put much thought into it. So think about a gas station that has a cash price and a credit price. That's going to be similar to the cash discount program. Go down to City Hall, apply for a business license, pay for a speeding ticket. A lot of companies, when you call in and you pay with a credit or debit card, there's some sort of a service fee or a convenience fee or a surcharge. Whatever they want to call it, it's the cash discount program. So what we do is we provide the proper signage for a business owner to place in their store, and it reads, a 4% customer service charge is applied to all store sales. As an incentive for customers, we now provide a discount to pay with cash by giving a 4% immediate discount on the service charge. So this is critical. So a business owner does not need to go change their prices. They don't need to update their menu and add 4%. They don't need to do any of that. This sign simply says that every sell in the store is going to have a 4% service fee. As an incentive, we'll give you a 4% discount on the 4% service fee if you pay via cash or check. So now whether a business is accepting cash, check, credit, or debit, it doesn't matter to them. They get to keep 100% of those profits. I've talked with thousands of business owners since doing this, and so many of them love to accept cash because with cash, they don't have any fees. They get to keep 100% of the sale. Well, now under the cash discount program, whether it's cash, credit, or debit, makes no difference to the business owner because they're now going to get to keep 100% of those profits. That is a huge deal and huge money back into the business owner's pocket. So what's in it for us? What's in it for you? How can you go out, make a great living as you're building financial freedom? Well, as we mentioned, there's only 3 prices. It's very easy. It's $25, $50, or $90 per month. So let's go over those. It's based on how much that business owner processes. So if they process between $0 and $5,000 a month, they can count on a $25 bill. That puts $250 back in your pocket. The next tier, if they're processing between $5,001 and $10,000, they're simply going to pay $50 per month, $600 a year. Doesn't matter how much they process, and that's going to put $500 in your pocket. And the maximum tier we have, anybody processing over $10,000, it could be $11,000, it could be $30,000, it could be $130,000. That merchant is going to pay $90 a month, putting a $1,000 commission into your pocket. So as we're looking at this slide here, and as we've been going over this, most people are already thinking about, well, I know John. I'm down there all the time at his restaurant. I bet you he'd be interested in eliminating his bill. He must be paying $1,200, $1,500. Maybe I'll talk with him and, tell him he could pay $90 with me. Well, how many business owners a month could you do that with? Look at these commissions. How many business owners can we put all that profit back in their pocket while making a great amount of money up front? We have people going out there doing 15 apps a month. When I was active out in the field, I was a 20 to 30 deal a month kind of guy. But even if you're doing part-time, you get out there and do 2, 4, 5 deals a month. Look at these commission. That's thousands of dollars in your pocket while you're creating a residual income stream. So here's a table here. Again, as a disclaimer, this is based on averages. How much residual you make on an account is going to be based on how much they process in credit cards. So this is based on an average of $100 per account, but you're going to have accounts so you could be making $400, $800. Go get a huge account. You can make over $1,000 in residual income on one deal with this program. So this is based on 100. So on the far left, that's 3 deals per month, 5 deals per month, 10 deals per month. Across the top, obviously, is the 12 months. So if you were going out part-time, talk to some people you already know, maybe talk to businesses that you frequent at on a normal basis. In 12 months, you'd be making $3,600 in reoccurring monthly revenue. Up that up to 5, maybe go out a little bit more. And in 12 months, you're at a $6,000 residual income. Now, because people are so spread out around here, all over the United States, and cost of living is different everywhere, financial freedom is going to be different for you than it is somebody else on the call than it is for me. But I think we could all agree, no matter where you are, if you went out there and created yourself a monthly income stream of $6,000 in a year, you're getting pretty close if you're not already at financial freedom there. And then you could up it from there. 10 deals a month on average over a year, your monthly residual income stream, $12,000. Now, at the beginning of this slide, at the beginning of the webinar, we said 6 to 9 months. So look between that 6 to 9 month mark there. How many deals would it take you per month to be financially free in 6 to 9 months? This is doable. You don't need some degree to do this. You don't have to be an expert salesperson. If you know business owners that accept credit cards, you can help them while putting money in your pocket now and while building a passive income stream for down the road. When I saw this 10 years ago, it was no brainer. I stopped. What was I doing at the time? I was doing timeshare acquisition at the time. I was living in Florida. My buddy opened an office in Seattle. I sold my motorcycle, sold what I had, and I moved to Seattle within a week, and I got started, and I haven't looked back since. And now with thousands of accounts, the cash flow just comes in, not required to work. But I take it very serious to help other people create financial freedom. That's what I'm in it for. I want to see this chart a reality in other people's lives. So another benefit with Easy Pay is every year we get together. This year we're going to be getting together in Miami, Florida. So anybody that goes out and gets over 50 accounts, it doesn't matter if they're $25, $50, or $90 a month accounts, no matter what they are, go get yourself 50 accounts, make some good money, build some passive income, and we're flying you out to Miami, Florida for 3 days to have a good time. This is just a great place that you get to rub elbows with other people that are out there putting in the work. And I think my favorite part of these annual gatherings this many years into the industry is that every year you go, the people that consistently go to the annual gatherings are doing better every year, right? So maybe your first year you show up, you're making, $3,000 in residual income. That's great. That's a great start. If you keep making it to the annual meeting every year, that number just gets bigger. So now, having been to 9, every year, the people that have been there every year are doing unbelievable, right? So when you first get started, you need to make that upfront living. You're making $1,000 a deal, and that's what you make your living on. But if you make it to this annual gathering 2, 3, 5, 8 years in a row and keep going, that residual income is now going to be your primary source of income, and the commissions are going to be secondary. Commissions are great, don't get me wrong, but when you get your residual income stream far above what you can make in commissions, that's the big picture, and that's the kind of stuff you see at the annual gathering, because the people there are treating it like their business. They go out there, apply themselves, and reach financial freedom, especially if they're making it to this year after year. So it's one of my favorite quotes I wanted to throw in there. So if you really understood residual income, you would walk through a brick wall to get it. And That could not be more true. I would run through a brick wall for residual income. Just think about that. Wherever you're at in your life, how nice would it be to have an extra $1,000, $3,000, $10,000 a month that just hit your bank account month after month off of work that you did 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago? That's the power of residual income, so that someday you're not going to work because you need the commission, that you need money. You're going because you're just trying to grow what you already have. And that's the power of residual income, and why I take it so serious to help other people get it. So what are we looking for? We're looking for local independent reps. Now, earlier I said there's no boundaries. The whole United States, all 50 states is your territory. So don't take the local out of context. If you're living in Dallas, Texas, and know a business owner in Oregon, go do business with them. Go help them out. But we're looking for 5 to 8 reps per state. We don't want to oversaturate this and have too much of a free-for-all out there. We want people that can go out there and own their local market, work with their local people. And if you want to expand outside of that, absolutely, please do. We're looking for people that are self-motivated and definitely money motivated, people that understand the power of residual income and can see how powerful that's going to be if they put the work in now. So we're definitely here. I'm here for absolutely everybody. If there's something you need in the field, an answer that needs to be, a question that needs to be answered, if there's some tool that you're missing that would help you out in the field, it's my job, and it's the whole team's job to make sure that you have all that stuff. But by self-motivated, we're not calling people at 8 o'clock in the morning trying to wake them up, making sure they're out building their financial future. We're looking for self-motivated people that want to get out there and are motivated to do so. Outside of the box thinking is a great thing here. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. By doing this, there's no exact right way of doing it. So we have people that do door-to-door, which is always my favorite. We have people that run phone offices that close the deal over the phone. We have other phone offices that set appointments with business owners, and then they go and run the appointment face-to-face. You could do email marketing. You could do social media. You could just word of mouth with people you know. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. Whatever gets the accounts is all that matters. So I deal with so many people that come over to us. A lot of them come from corporate world. A lot of them even came from other merchant service companies. And there was just a system. They had to do things a certain way. So even if they saw an opportunity to improve a process or improve the system or make something more efficient, when you're at that normal JOB, it's kind of like, hey, get in line. This is how we do it. Don't question it, and keep your mouth shut, and you'll keep your job. Well, that's definitely not what we're looking for. We encourage outside of the box thinking. So as you're watching this presentation, you might be thinking of a completely different angle than the other person that's watching it as well. And we want you both to go out there and do whatever it is that you think is going to work for you. And as we mentioned, we're looking for 5 to 8 active reps per state. And I really appreciate your time getting onto this. All I can say is that 10 years ago when I looked at credit card processing, it was nothing like this cash discount program. It was much more complex. You could only reduce somebody's bill by so much, and the commissions weren't what we're going over now. The cash discount program has opened a whole new can of worms for the average person to go out there and put all that money back into a business owner's pocket while making a huge profit for yourself and a financially free future. So I can't thank you enough for being on here. Let me ask you this. You've probably looked at some other webinars and you're looking for some opportunity, or maybe you're here just to kind of see what it's about. But how would you like to work with me and my team to go out there and create this financial freedom for yourself? All I can say is I'm committed to whoever's committed to building their own business with this. I would do anything within my power, provide any tool that's asked of me if it helps somebody go out there and create financial freedom. So not just myself, but the whole team at EasyPay, we're all here for whoever's excited about this opportunity. go ahead and take this time. Let's use the Q&A session. The monitor will be answering as they have been throughout the whole webinar. But go ahead and whatever questions you have left, make sure you get them answered here. And then we want to be in touch with you. So whether it's an email or phone number, we'll be in touch. And I hope you enjoyed the webinar. And I hope to be talking with you one-on-one here very soon. Thank you so much for your time.